Ukrainian drones have demonstrated their ability to carry out precise strikes on military targets deep in Russia. After successful attacks on Russian strategic aviation airfields, speculations have emerged about the possibility of a similar strike on the presidential motorcade. In particular, journalist and military expert Petr Shuklinov analyzed the SBU Special Operation Web in his blog. According to him, Ukrainian special services have proven their ability to conduct large-scale operations behind enemy lines involving dozens of people. Shuklinov notes that Ukraine has established supplies of the necessary equipment to Russia on an industrial scale. Drones, in his opinion, were purchased directly in the Russian Federation, and explosives and special devices were delivered from Kazakhstan and China. The expert emphasizes that the Ukrainian special services have proven their ability to destroy Russia's nuclear triad en masse. Today, these are airfields; tomorrow, they could become ports with nuclear submarines or launch silos. Currently, the Ukrainian special services are targeting primarily military facilities and Russian military commanders. However, tomorrow the goal of the war may change, writes Shuklinov. According to the journalist, it is now quite possible to imagine a group attack and destruction of the presidential motorcade. He emphasizes that it is no longer impossible. The Telegraph editorial board asked the Grok artificial intelligence about the probability of a successful drone attack on Vladimir Putin's motorcade. The AI analyzed several key factors. In its opinion, the main obstacles to such an attack are the motorcade's defense systems. Putin is accompanied by the Pantsir anti-aircraft missile system, which effectively shoots down small drones. In addition, Russian security services use two Oris vehicles for camouflage. This makes it difficult to determine which vehicle the target is in. Electronic warfare is also used to suppress drone signals. In addition, trips are planned a month in advance with strict secrecy. Ukrainian drones have demonstrated the ability to strike hundreds of kilometers away. However, as the neural network claims, attacking a moving object requires high precision and resistance to electronic warfare. Drones used to strike stationary objects are less effective against fast-moving targets. The difficulty lies in targeting a constantly moving target. In addition, information about Putin's movements is often made public only after the visit is over. Based on the analysis of all factors, artificial intelligence estimated the probability of a successful attack at 5 to 10%. However, the success of such an operation depends on extremely accurate reconnaissance and advanced drones. Even under such conditions, the result is subject to unpredictable factors, such as human error in the defense system. The actual details of the Russian president's protection remain classified. Witnesses recounted the dramatic scenes after 6 people, calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza, were injured at an outdoor mall in Boulder, Colorado, by a man who police say used a makeshift flamethrower and hurled an incendiary device into a crowd. According to Associated Press, the FBI immediately described Sunday's violence as a targeted terror attack. The suspect, identified by the FBI as 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Solomon, yelled, "Free Palestine," during the attack on the group of demonstrators, said Mark Mihalik, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Denver field office. Solomon was arrested and taken to the hospital for treatment, but authorities didn't elaborate on his injuries. Lynn Siegel, 72, was among about 20 people who gathered Sunday. They had finished their march in front of the courthouse when a rope of fire shot in front of her and then 2 big flares. She said the scene quickly turned chaotic as people worked to find water to put out flames and find help. Siegel, who said she is Jewish on her father's side and has supported the Palestinians for more than 40 years, was concerned that she might be accused of helping the suspect because she was wearing a pro-Palestinian shirt. "There were people who were burning, I wanted to help," she said. "But I didn't want to be associated with the perpetrator." Tourist Alex Osanti said he heard screaming and crying, and saw the attacker holding Molotov cocktails.
It was very strange to just hear a crash on the ground of a bottle breaking, and then it sounded like a boom, and then people started yelling and screaming. But I saw fire, I saw people falling and screaming and crying and tripping, and I saw the attacker have a Molotov. He had 3 Molotov cocktails. One of them he threw inside of a group, and one lady lit on fire from head to toe. And then the other 4 people were also injured and in a fire, but not as bad as the first one. And then the attacker came out from the bushes and the trees the second time, and he threw another cocktail, and on the second one he lit himself on fire accidentally. And I imagine it's accidentally. He seemed to have a bulletproof vest on, or some kind of vest, and then a shirt underneath it. And after he lit himself on fire, he took off the vest and the shirt, and he was shirtless. But he still had his Molotov cocktails in his hand, ready to use them, like ready to throw them and explode them on people.
These like shoots of fire, linear, about 20 feet long, spears of fire, 2 of them at least, came across right into the group about 15 feet from me, because I sit there and watch them, but I try to listen also to what they're talking about, because I am concerned about the hostages. With a Free Palestine shirt, I don't want to hang around there after that. Yeah. I know that automatically, and I'm sure the JCC is going to be up in arms, and this is going to divide this community all the more. And it's all to all of our detriment, because it will not end pleasantly. This person that did this act, that's beyond words also, like potentially killing like this whole group of people. That is like, that's unconscionable that happened, and that anyone would be elevated to that level of despair that they would do that.
How are you?
Lifted that whole robot.